This video is called America the Brave because on 9/11, 9 years ago, they did not know whether the rest of the world would stand with them. But immediately they began preparations for Operation Anaconda, which was the invasion of Afghanistan. This was an important step because it made a clear distinction between the time before 9/11 and after, where the Binladens had free rein to kill millions of people throughout the world and still be considered part of the international system. The reason why they were part of the international system is because they are one of the largest building contractors and oil producers in the world. Perhaps only several other families in the world could rival them, but they are certainly one of the most powerful of the feudalistic crime families. And they did do 9/11. They did 9/11 just to prove how powerful they were. The problem is that the Bin Ladens are a family that is more powerful than many nations, even the United States, as they proved in 9/11. But the United States did not flinch, it did not waver, it went straight for them. But does it have the bravery now? Does it have the bravery to complete the task? With 30,000 troops in Afghanistan, in Obama's surge, does it have the will to complete the job? It's not certain whether Britain can continue in Afghanistan given the fact that the Tory government here is going to cut 25% off the police and defence budgets in the coming years. That will leave simply Germany, which has the second largest apart from Britain forces in Afghanistan after the United States itself, to continue the fight. But does Germany have the will, given its also the taboo of it using military force, to continue this fight alongside the United States? And therefore, if Germany is not with it, will the rest of the European Union do so? Well, I think the European Union is definitely fighting the Bin Ladens, but it's doing so in a much more covert way than the United States. The United States is fond of using direct military force, whereas the European Union is using an incremental strategy of creating a system of non-connections, of economic non-connections and political non-connections, to isolate and destroy the Bin Laden family from within. That's my personal view, and that's how I would personally tackle the Bin Laden family if I had that power, but I do not. The problem is that the United States will have to probably continue this fight for hundreds of years, perhaps 100 years at least. As John McCain once said, this war will take 100 years. 20 years may be on the brighter side of things, but certainly 100 years is feasible. This is not a war against Islam, this is a war against feudalism. It's a war against the family that believe they have the right of life and death and ownership of people. Now, the separate issue is America brave enough to deal with the Federal Reserve System, which created this massive economic bubble, and which I am highly critical of the United States of in economics, but I'm highly fond of the United States as a people and as a nation, and you have a magnificent constitution, a written constitution which everyone can swear allegiance to. I even considered American citizenship for myself at one point. But does America have the bravery to tackle the Federal Reserve System? Does it have the bravery to audit the system of the Federal Reserve, or even close it down? It has done so before with the continental dollar. It has done so many times, and many times the central bank has still come back and gone out of control. This is not an argument against central banks, because if you look at the European Central Bank and the British Central Bank, they are doing very well. The European Central Bank has actually said that we have an economic growth of 2.7%. What the United States must be brave enough to do is to relinquish its system of the reserve currency, the dollar, being linked to oil, because this is funding the Binladen Crime Family indirectly by giving them an unlimited amount of money supply which they can wash through their Islamic banking system and provide their soldiers in Afghanistan, the Al-Qaeda and AQ Khan affiliates, with an unlimited amount of money. Currently, Osama bin Laden, the most famous of the bin Laden family, or infamous, I should say, because they're a bunch of evil bastards, is getting £48 billion, and that's 2003 pounds, which is when the pound was worth twice as much as the pound is now, to provide their Al-Qaeda affiliates and the Taliban with weapons and arms. This is greater than the budget of the British Army. Can America be brave enough to continue a fight against a family that has possibly trillions of pounds? We shall see. And I wish America the best of luck, but it must have Europe as a strong partner. We must be two hyperpowers working together as equal partners, and then we can defeat the Binladen crime family. Check out my Evil Bastards, my series Evil Bastards, the Bin Ladens, and it's in 4 parts. On the subject of the mosque near Ground Zero, am I for or against it? I'm against it because fundamentally there should be no religious connotations to any memorial of the victims of 9/11. Their families must have their own private faith. Surely that must be a luxury given to them. But there must also be a memorial, more like the Vietnam War memorial, with all the names of the people who are there. And they must build in New York a glorious new buildings around the zone of 9/11, but not on the actual site itself, to show the great power and gloriousness of the United States. And that's my tribute to the victims of 9/11, and that's my tribute to the United States. Long may the European Union, or forever may the European Union and the United States be friends, and forever may Great Britain, the United States and the European Union continue. Thank you.